Hello, my name is Crystal Almdal, and I'm a Master of Science student from the Entomology Department at the University of Manitoba. Currently, we produce a lot of food with insecticides. Agricultural intensification has resulted in larger fields, less diverse crops, and loss of natural habitat in the landscape. And in Manitoba, we are especially seeing larger fields of wheat, canola, and soybeans. But this is a problem because large crop fields are good for pest populations. It means more of their host crop to feed on, reproduce, and develop in. And because of this, we see increased pest pressure in our crops, which has resulted in us relying more heavily on the use of insecticides. And insecticides are a problem because they harm natural enemies and decrease the potential for natural pest control. So diverse cropping systems are good because they provide natural enemies with better access to food and shelter, especially during times of disturbance, such as during spraying and harvesting events. And in fact, we are seeing higher levels of natural pest control in cereals when crops are more diverse in the landscape. So crop diversity can benefit natural pest control by removing food for pests and providing natural enemies with better living conditions. In Manitoba, soybean aphids aren't usually too much of a problem, likely because they don't overwinter here and need to migrate a long distance to get here. But sometimes we do see large aphid outbreaks that require insecticide applications. So we are interested in knowing if we diversify crops, will we see better aphid control in soybeans? In 2017, there was an aphid outbreak in soybean in Manitoba, which allowed us to test how the diversity of crops in the surrounding landscape affected aphid abundance, predator immigration, and aphid control in soybean. So, how do we do this? We selected 12 soybean fields in Manitoba, surrounded by varying degrees of crop diversity from low to high. We counted the number of aphids and winged aphids on soybean plants. We set up malaise traps to capture predators immigrating to soybean, and we set up a predator exclusion experiment where we had aphids exposed to predators and aphids excluded from predators. And then we quantified the diversity of crops surrounding all our soybean fields up to a 1.5 kilometer radius. And what we found was, when there were more aphids and winged aphids in soybeans, we were seeing lower levels of aphid control. We found that predators were immigrating in response to the aphid populations, and that crop diversity had a direct negative impact on the population of aphids in the field, which had indirect benefits to aphid control. So, what does this all mean? It means that having a diverse cropping system makes it harder for aphids to colonize soybeans in Manitoba, which may give predator populations more time to catch up to the growing aphid populations. Therefore, diversifying crops can help reduce our need for insecticides and translate to more sustainable agriculture, which is focused more around conserving natural enemy populations.